It was in the February of the second year I was there. I went to Matt Busby and I said, look, I'm really homesick. I decided I want to go home. He said, but son, nobody leaves Manchester United.
Today I spoke with one of the greatest Socceroos players of all time, Ray Baartz. He's not only known for playing for Manchester United, but also for helping the Socceroos qualify for their first World Cup. Like myself, Ray's career ended with a serious injury. Through the disappointment of his early retirement, he was able to capitalise on opportunities and become successful in his post-career. We'll go back to where you first started with playing football. I'd love to know how your experience was transitioning from being in Australia to over in Manchester and then coming back.
First of all, I grew up in Newcastle. I went to Adamstown Primary School, and you know, in the 50s, if you went to Adamstown Primary School, you played cricket in summer and soccer in winter. That was it, no other sports. I was playing senior football with Adamstown seniors when I was 16, and at the end of the season, they decided to send two of their more promising juniors to Manchester United for 3 months coaching. I was one of those along with Doug Johns. We go in, we meet Matt Busby. He said, now we'll put you in digs with a lady and we'll give you £2 a week. After the 3 months, Matt Busby said to Doug, okay, the 3 months are up. Have a nice trip home, so to speak. And he said, Ray, we'd like you to stay, and they offered me a contract to sign full-time professional. I sort of jumped at that, and my £2 went to £12 a week, but I had to pay my own digs out of the...
How much was that?
£12 about $24 a week.
And how much was rent?
I think I was paying about £3 or £4 a week out of that.
There wasn't much difference.
So there wasn't a lot of money left over. I still kept playing for the second team and was doing quite well. And then I think it was in the February of the second year I was there. I went to Matt Busby and I said, look, I'm really homesick. I decided I want to go home. He said, but son, nobody leaves Manchester United. He said, I'm not going to let you go. I want you to think about it for a month. He said, you're doing really well, and then we'll talk. So after a month I went back to him and he said, you haven't changed your mind, have you? I said, no. He said, okay, I wish you well. The following year, 1967, I played Manchester United toured Australia, and I played for New South Wales against Manchester United, and I think they beat 3-1. After the game, Matt Busby asked me if I'd like to go back, and I said no. I was really happy. I was making a lot more money here then by having a job plus playing football than what I was with me 12 quid I was getting at Manchester United. I got picked with the Socceroos first in 1967 when I was 20 years of age. Played against Scotland, they toured Australia. Prior to going to Germany in 1974, we played 2 warm-up games against Uruguay here in Australia. Uruguay had also qualified. They came to Australia probably under the impression they're going to have 2 easy games. Just before half-time, I picked up the ball just outside our 18-yard line, played it forward. This guy just went whack and hit me across the throat. It was like a karate blow to the throat, and I went down choked. The injury was actually similar to the injury that Philip Hughes, the cricketer, received, but the difference being is that Phil got hit there with the cricket ball, his artery swelled and burst, and my artery swelled but didn't burst, thankfully. But while it swelled, it reduced the flow of blood to the brain, so I virtually had a stroke. I was rushed to hospital the next morning, had an angiogram and all that sort of stuff. And Brian Corrigan, who was also the Olympic team doctor for many, many years, came in and said, Ray, he said, you're a very lucky boy, but another blow could be fatal. So I'm going to strongly advise you not to play again. And I was just turned 27, and the World Cup was 3 months away. Wow. And when I realised how lucky I was and how bad the injury was, and I had a 2-year-old daughter at the time, and my wife was pregnant with our second child, I thought, oh well, that's it, football's over. And I accepted it pretty well straight away without any stress or anything like that. I was under contract to Adidas at the time, and the New South Wales agent for Adidas said, Ray, what are you going to do? I said, well, I don't know. He said, look, there's an opportunity in Newcastle to open a sports store. So we went in partnership and we put $3,000 each in, and we started the sports store, and 35 years later.
As an athlete going into business and starting your own store, what lessons did you learn throughout that process that could help somebody else?
Yeah, well, I think it's the same with anything. You only get out of it what you put in it. You know, you've got to treat your customers right, and you've got to treat your staff right. To have a successful business for as long as what we did for 35 years, where we saw a lot of sports stores open and a lot of sports stores close, you think, well, we must have been doing something right, and something right was looking after your customers, treating your customers right, so that they would come back again and they would bring their kids in as they got older and so forth.